Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now just very quickly before the video begins, this video is in partnership with Qt. And today what we're going to be doing is collecting questions of the day, like topics of the day for upcoming content. So when I'm doing a commentary, sometimes it's good to have a topic to just kind of fall back onto if the game's not going great or it's a stomp and we're winning. Sometimes it gets a bit dead air. Well, I'm trying to collect as many topics as I can that you guys want me to talk about, and also you guys in the comments can engage about it when we do it. And yeah, we're going to collect these through Qt. Again, a lot of you will probably be aware they've been a partner of ours for a very long time. If you haven't though, check the link in the description. Sign up, doesn't take very long at all. And then, yeah, leave a comment of a good topic of the day, question of the day, and we're going to be giving away 2 Zoe bundles here, one for Europe, one for North America, and you've only got like 3 or 4 days left of these entries. I actually forgot to do the video announcement. So yeah, feel free to leave it. If you've got multiple questions, by the way, separate them, do different comments for each question that you have. And again, if you've never done Qt before, once you signed up, you get here, you go add a comment, you know, you type your question, put it as a question and post comment. There you go. That's going to be it. And again, you also feel free, can vote over here on the polls on the right and stuff like that too. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But if you can do me a favor and like this one, that'll help out a bunch. See you. Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to what we're now going to be calling the series Spotting Pros. Well done if you did make that suggestion. It's nice and sweet for a title of the video. We're back watching Doublelift today, so there's a couple reasons why. 1, he's a very popular AD carry. 2, when we watched him, you know, over a week ago, it was literally like on his first day of solo queue on EU, most likely jet lagged, like we mentioned, and also it was during the time that he had the minimap just open. Unfortunately, ghosting is a thing, especially for these pros. It sucks, but yeah, and if you don't know what ghosting is, basically when someone on the enemy team is watching Doublelift stream, well, obviously they know a lot what's going on. But now, since he has blocked his minimap, and that's all he does from now on, he's climbed a lot more, so I think he's around Grandmaster at the moment, and obviously the jet lag has probably calmed down. So I thought we'd give Doublelift another visit. I'm going to be giving him a visit on Ezreal, one of my favourite AD carries, probably my favourite AD carry if I'm honest. And furthermore than that, we're watching a matchup that is, in theory, not in Ezreal's favour. Ezreal's not a lane champion, and Syndra, although I do not like mage bot lanes, is a lane bully in bot lane, especially combining that with a Lux, a lot of poke, a lot of burst damage. So we want to see an Ezreal who's supposedly weak in lane phase. How does he deal with a mage bot lane who is known to be a bully in lane phase? And as everybody knows, I do not like mage bot lanes. I'm an old man in League of Legends, you know, I've played the game since Season 1, 10 years. I like traditional bot lanes. I like AD carry players playing AD carry. You may not, you might disagree, that's fine. It's just personally what I prefer. So I always want to see an AD carry crushing a mage bot lane, because it's like, get out of my lane, goddammit. So yeah. Right, so the thing with this lane, because it's even Blitzcrank, and this is Doublelift's duo partner, but I don't think it's a pro, by the way. I think he, again, Doublelift, which is really cool, has just been embracing a lot of, like, EU players. Like, oh, this support's really good. Do you want a duo? He's been doing that a fair amount, which I think's awesome. Like, imagine that. You're the guy. Oh, damn, I duoed with Doublelift for 10 games. Like, that's really cool. He has obviously been duoing with some of the, you know, his Team Liquid support and stuff, but, yeah, I think this might just be a random support playing Blitzcrank. Obviously, Blitzcrank recently getting his 100 range buff on his hook. His win rate did spike, you know, after that. It's probably just because, you know, it's so weird. That was weird. All people, you know, in League don't have to be high rating. If you've played League for a few years, you know how long Blitzcrank hook is. Like, a vague idea. It's like, oh, it's gonna reach me, or I'm out of range. Well, now all of that in your mind is now wrong. And that's what makes it difficult. It's not overpowered, it's just all of us are so used to it being something different. It's the same premise of when an old champion gets an update or a rework. It takes ages for you, in your mind, to get rid of the old portion of that champion. It's like, this is odd. So anyway, the lane is going as I'd probably expect so far. Farm orientated, Blitzcrank. Again, if they find a hook, they can do a buttload of damage, because obviously the thing with them is that they are squishy. The Syndra and Lux are squishy. Ezreal doesn't have too much damage in the early game, but it's okay. And they'll be able to get flashes and stuff like that. You do that twice in a row on the target. First time you get the flash, second time you can get the kill. And that's what that's probably what they're looking for. Or they could just be like, let's just farm. Again, you don't really pick Blitzcrank to just farm. Again, nice attempt. He is looking for hooks with the tower in mind. Lux actually mispositions quite badly there. Blitzcrank does a nice dodge. This could be on because the enemy team are a little bit too close. Syndra does get a nice stun to make the fight not happen. That was close. Enemy team nearly mucked up them. As for the game as a whole, by the way, you've got a Talon. We've seen this guy before in these videos. He's a Talon one trick, and obviously if you're a one trick, you don't get mid lane. Well, you got to play it top because you're only good at one thing. So he's playing Talon top. Qiyana in the jungle. I have been watching some Worlds play-ins, and it does seem Qiyana is going to be arguably the champion of Worlds. You know, pickle ban. There's always a couple. You know, this champion is 100% pickle ban, and it seems Qiyana, it might be her time this year. Silas, by the way, still prevalent in Worlds as well. He's just a good pro pick, even after all the nerfs. But yeah, Qiyana is very strong. In the hands of someone that knows what they're doing, and with team coordination and all that, really good. Now, you'll see the aggression levels of Doublelift, you know, hopefully, and you just saw that spike up occasionally. Why? What is a mage more dependent on than an AD carry? Their spells. And obviously, yeah, Ezreal's a spell-dependent AD carry, but he can auto-attack. He auto-attacks more than, let's say, a Syndra does. You'll even notice a Sheen, which I'll explain in a minute, not Tia. But yeah, he has to get these auto-attacks in when the Syndra has no mana. That's an advantage. Any advantage you can get, grab it, and that is one of them. So why Sheen first? Tyr would arguably make him too weak. Oh, lovely hook under the tower, and straight away there's first blood, and that is the first hook that he got under the tower, and she's dead instantly. Didn't even get flash off, and again, because she's so squishy. So Tyr, again, would make him too weak. Sheen is a power spike. For any Sheen champion, it's a power spike because it also buffs your auto attacks. And what did we mention 30 seconds ago? That the advantage that Ezreal has in this matchup is his auto attacks. And that's where, again, a differentiation of a bad and a good Ezreal, not even like talking about pros, just anyone in general, a good Ezreal auto attacks and, you know, weaves it within the spells. Q auto attack Q, all that. A bad Ezreal is just spell casting. Obviously, we are seeing Doublelift auto attack here, like we'd expect. And yeah, lovely Blitzcrank hook, and that is very much what they needed. Again, in a matchup that they are, what I'd say is not really supposed to win. Syndra was put bot lane to basically bully AD carries. Some people think AD carries are still weak. I know there's a general consensus. Oh, Syndra potentially lovely damage by Doublelift. Oh, that hook was so close. Doublelift maybe gets no more damage, but that was still pretty good. That's not bad at all. By the way, there has seemed to be a lane swap occur. LeBlanc is now top lane, and Malphite's now mid. You can maybe see why, and I don't understand how. Qiyana may be looking bot lane. Look at the farm difference between the mid laners, or, you know, the mid laners. LeBlanc's half farm. I guess she just got completely owned. I don't know. Anyway, fight is on. There's a split right now. So Echo is over here. Nice hit by Blitzcrank. Watch Doublelift's positioning, by the way. They're going all in on him. Doublelift in this whole instance gets stunned, but again, remaining fairly safe. Nice little pick there, and he will survive for now. Hits level 6, does a bit of return damage. Is thinking about it. This is potentially on. Maybe for the Qiyana? Silas, I think they just got vision of him. He is walking down, so that is probably the time that you either push the wave, back off, or just back off completely. They do know he's coming. Malphite, unfortunately, did not move. You would want the Malphite to move there. Obviously, AP Malphite, well, he's actually not. He's going tank Malphite. Malphite, for some reason, has got more popular. I don't know why. Even in high rating, yeah, the ultimate is great if it lands. And that's the thing with Malphite, you know, it's very hit or miss. You know, what would I say? If you're a Malphite player, but you're finding it's a bit inconsistent. People are dodging my ult, and if I miss it, you know, if you just flat out miss your ultimate, you as a champion are basically useless. Who would I say is a better pick than Malphite? Ornn. Ornn's way better than Malphite to me. Again, Malphite has a potential higher damage, but are you picking Malphite for damage? Not really, or you shouldn't be. Ornn to me does way more than a Malphite does, but it's also kind of similar. Ornn has that, you know, big knock-up with his ultimate. Ornn has another knock-up, like a mini Malphite ultimate with the E. He's then can upgrade items for your team and himself. Ornn to me is just a better version. It's a modern version of Malphite, but I don't know. Ornn, I know he got a couple of changes, maybe some nerfs, but I still think he's probably a better pick at the moment. So you can see now Doublelift buys Tyr. So again, the delaying of the Tyr is partially risky, but it's to enable someone with confidence on Ezreal to have a stronger lane phase, because obviously Ezreal is not known for his lane phase. He's known to be pretty weak in lane phase. So if you get the Sheen first, it gives you a slight power spike. Try to get a kill, which he's got now 2, then buy the tier, but you already have the power spike Sheen. You're already now ahead. So that's why that's kind of done. I generally don't do that because I don't particularly look for kills in lane phase when I play Ezreal. Again, you guys have watched my Ezreal episodes. Lovely damage there. You can see the damage is already showing up. Gank happening. Kiana in bot lane again. They have to be very careful here. Doublelift does get hit by the stun. Blitzcrank probably just going to go down. Again, the enemy team, if you look at their health bars, low, 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 they're all nearly dead, surprisingly. But none of them die. Malphite may be looking to roam down. Keep an eye on the minimap in the bottom right, everybody. Doublelift is staying. Now, if I just pause it here. If you're the enemy team and you're watching the AD carry tank the minions, not let it push back in to start freezing it, something's up. Like, 100% something's up. Why is the AD carry not freely, like, freezing it back here to deny us more farm? Why is he in the middle of the wave tanking it? Because he wants to maybe grab vision. He wants to probably, like, you know, see if they're still around, do some Q damage. That's aggression. You only have aggression if you're confident. And confidence usually comes from having teammates around you, especially when you're an AD carry. Ezreal, that's weak in the early game. So that is worth pointing out. Right, so Malphite over here. Oh, okay, Malphite does get 1 kill. Doublelift randomly found the Syndrome waiting in a bush, by the way. She was just chilling in a bush. She does have ultimate up, so she was probably like surprised Pikachu face, like, what the hell, how did he find me? But again, that's kind of probably, that's something that I can't teach you guys, and I only can predict why he did that, and it's intuition. I do it, you know, every League player, I guess, does it, and the better you are, the better your intuition is. You know, when you're playing League, one of the healthiest things to do is you put yourself while Kiana comes bot lane. Doublelift is probably dead here. Oh, so close. Is he going to die? Let's see. Will he get chased down? Blitzcrank nowhere near, went mid. Oh, my lovely kill. Never mind. Gets a shutdown on the Kiana. That's actually huge, by the way. That's great. But, yeah, intuition. The way you play League, but it's something that, you know, I do, but I don't say in commentaries because it happens just instantly, right? You don't really think about it that much. Is you put yourself in the mind frame of the enemy team. So Doublelift in that instance would have been like, I wonder where the enemy team is. And again, he's doing this rapidly, and it's like, they could be in that bush. Check the bush. Like, I would be in that bush if I was Syndra. I could snipe the Ezreal. I've got ultimate up. So he's just thinking about what the possibility is, and it obviously pays off. Now, good players are doing that continuously, all the time. Especially, again, if you're an enemy jungler, you're thinking, where would I be if I was the enemy jungler on their champion, etc. If you're a top laner, okay, if I was the jungler... And again, the players that are the best usually at doing that, obviously pros are fantastic at it, but multi-role players are usually the best at doing it because they play multi-roles. They can imagine perfectly what they would be doing because they play the role that they're imagining. For example, if you had a one-trick that only plays mid lane, yeah, they can have a really good idea of what mid lane is going to do, but do they have a great idea what the jungler is going to do if they've never played jungle, maybe in like 2 years? No, they're not. That's why multi-role people are really, really good, and it's just picturing what the hell's going on. Now, what I'd say, is there any improvement from this episode to the Caitlyn episode that we watched over a week ago? I honestly think yes, slightly. In the Caitlyn episode, we noticed that like every now and then it was just a bit slow reaction time, and that's why I said in that video, oh, he could have jet lag. Don't know why Lux is alone there, by the way. Should have got punished. This episode, you can see the skill shots are pretty much on point. Meanwhile, Malphite, lovely double ult by Doublelift there. But the skill shots are generally on point all the time. He's not really missing. He's taking you know, aggressive plays. Like he's shown up, right? It's a different atmosphere than the Caitlyn game. I felt in the Caitlyn game he played clean. You could tell his mechanics are good, but he didn't like take over. This game he's playing Ezreal in a matchup he's not supposed to win. And yeah, the Blitzcrank has done fine, but if I'm honest, if I had to call it, this has mainly been a 2v1 lane. Like the Blitzcrank I think has landed maybe 1 hook. So generally it's been a 2v1. Doublelift has been doing the vast majority of the poke, doing the damage, doing the snipes, and landing the skill shots. So, and on top of that, also surviving. You can't, you know, never doubt survival. It's so important. Again, you can't do any damage if you're dead. And as a ranged champion, you can maintain doing damage even if you're low health, right? You can just keep poking. If you get low health, keep poking at a safe distance. If you're dead, you can't even do that. So what I really like to see is Doublelift is maintaining aggression, but also survival. That's awesome. All right, so Talon gets shut down by the Echo. Game, by the way, the LeBlanc is still half farm. That's crazy. Again, reminding people, yeah, these pros had, remember, Diamond 1. Lovely hook. This is probably a dead Lux. Oh, gets stunned in the end. Not a dead Lux for now, unfortunately. Now Qiyana roaming. Doublelift probably dead. Is dead by the final Qiyana. Little execute there. Blitzcrank going to try and survive. But you can notice there's 4 bot lane. Another thing that I just, don't really mention in these episodes, for all we know, there could be more pros in this matchup. You guys told me when we watched Nagiri, the guy that played Shen, I actually watched a playing game earlier of his. He was playing Vladimir, and he ran Kleptomancy Vladimir. That dude just runs Kleptomancy on everything, because he's that confident. He's like, you're not going to beat me in lane, so I'm just going to get as much gold as possible. It's awesome to see. Malphite coming for a kill. Doublelift TPing. They're going to stack. Both of them are going to die. But what was my track of thought? Qiyana's probably going to go down too. So that was pretty greedy by the enemy team sticking around there. I guess they just didn't expect the Malphite gank. They were going for First Blood Tower, I believe, because I don't think it's dead. Yep, so they was going for First Blood Tower. They don't get it, and there you go. But yeah, the Nagiri guy, you guys told me that the opposition Kled was apparently a pro. And I didn't know that. He was a Brazilian pro, apparently. And again, that episode really surprised me. Because yeah, the Kled got some strength in the mid game. He was so passive in the early game to a Kleptomancy laner, the Shen. It was weird, and especially you guys tell me that was a pro. Like, if that was a Diamond 1 Kled, I'd be like, okay, maybe the guy knows he's against a Korean pro, he's a bit nervous. But a other pro? Ugh, that was weird. But yeah. Right, so Doublelift's gone for the Triforce build, which it doesn't really surprise me this game, because if you look at the opposition, well, it kind of does actually, never mind. The Iceborne Gauntlet build, Lux taking a bit of damage. Nice damage here. Does miss the ultimate. Goes to the Q. Lands the Q. The red buff might finish her off. Does. Talon going all in, probably for Doublelift. Ends up in the middle of all places. He will go down most likely as well. Qiyana doing a bit of DPS. Doublelift gets a double kill. That's weird to say. Doublelift misses the stun. Does get Qiyana stunned though. And Kiana's going to try and run away. Echo is pretty speedy boy. So I would, he might be able to catch her. But anyway, he's probably going to go back to farming. Now, we mentioned in the sneaky episode of how much farm pros get. In solo queue, a solo queue player really heavily prioritizes kills. Kills are fun, right? Doublelift is 7-1 right now, but if you also look at his farm, he's the highest farm in the game. Guarantee he would, if he's got less kills than this, he would still have the most farm in the game. That's the priority, because that's guaranteed gold. So he's gone for an invade here. That's a bit of a lapse of judgment. So if you notice, again, where's the... So obviously this is a mistake, but these guys make very little mistakes. So let's just break it down for you guys at home of why this was a bad thing to do. So when you're going for an invade, you want one of 2 things. 1, vision, so you know where the enemy is, so you don't get caught. 2, your team to back you up. So one of 2 things. Your vision was in a bush, or I think he even E'd over and warded, so he had basically there's no vision here, there's no vision down here, there's no vision. Secondly, his team is nowhere to be seen. So this was what you'd call a literal mistake. Again, doesn't happen often, that's why I pointed out. And again, to you guys, that's why, invade when it's smart to do so. Malphite ulting, no delay. So again, that's a good Malphite because... The negative of Malphite is usually when the ultimate's coming, right? Again, higher rating people especially know, oh, we're stacking, there's a Malphite ult coming. A good Malphite, and they do exist, and yeah, the champion has no mechanics, but there is separation between good and bad Malphites. The good Malphites ult instantly. Like, it's like an Orianna, that there is no delay of, there's an opportunity, wham, get him. That's it. Like, it's moments. And, yeah, you'd love to get that 3-4 man ultimate on a Malphite. It's unrealistic. Like, it just doesn't really happen. It's the same as Orianna ult. It just doesn't really happen. It's so rare. So you could be in a team fight as Orianna, and it's like you could have ulted the enemy AD carry and killed the enemy AD carry, but you delayed, looking for that 3-man ulti, and it never comes. So that's why the good players on these champions, yeah, it's a great ultimate to use on multiple people. If it happens, amazing. Just get that boom. Just instant kill. And that's the difference. So again, that's just some general advice for people that play those type of champions. Infernal Dragon coming up. You can see Doublelift is spam pinging. Already bought a QSS, by the way, which is probably for the Syndra or Lux combo. Qiyana getting caught here, I think that is. Or is that... No, that's Lux. Silas steals the Malphite ultimate, doesn't do enough damage because he's, you know, he's not that strong. LeBlanc obviously, well, mid laners both this matchup game have not had a great game. Blitzcrank gets a nice hook on the Syndra. She's now 0-6. So this is an example of a game as well that the mage bot lane has really backfired. Hasn't worked at all, which, you know, again, it's supposed to win lane, especially against something of the likes of a Ezreal, which again, you know, the inherent strengths of the different roles. You know, some people, again, think AD carry is weak. I kind of beg to differ, because whenever there's a fed AD carry, especially like a Kai'Sa or something like that, Caitlyn, they do a buttload of damage. And if they're well protected, it's really hard to win against them. Blitzcrank getting a nice hook. Doublelift probably going to finish that off. Nice healing, but will die in the end. But what I'd say is, so the enemy team is fairly one-dimensional, right? They have 2 assassins, well, 3 assassins kind of with Silas, and 2 mages. There's no, like, alternate thing there. The enemy team, you know, Doublelift's team's got an engaging tank, an assassin jungler, a assassin mage type thing, an AD carry mage, and a Blitzcrank that's going to go for nice hooks, etc. A lot of variety in the picks. Doublelift does get killed by the talent. So again, there's the assassin working. But if they grouped as 5, would that even be allowed to happen? The answer is probably no. You know, there's an Echo stun that they'll have to walk into. There's a Malphite ult with the attack speed slow. There's a Blitzcrank if he had mana. There's a lot going on. So it's what I've found is mage bot lanes unbalance your comp really badly, unless you do something bizarre like run the Tristana mid that we've seen. Again, I'm not a fan of Tristana mid, but at least it balances your comp a little bit better. It gives you that variety of damage of having the ranged AD, because, you know, they've got 2 AD champions, but they're melee. So again, you have to walk into a Malphite, you've got to walk into an Echo. The AD carry doesn't have to walk into anybody. So that's what I feel like a mage bot lane does. It really gets rid of the variety in your comp, where the red side, Doublelift's team, a lot of variety. A lot of different damage capabilities. You know, they've got technically Malphite tank AP damage-ish. You've got a melee AP assassin Echo. You've got a ranged LeBlanc AP assassin mage. You've got ranged AD damage, and obviously he does do a bit of AP as well. And then Blitzcrank. So variety more than the enemy team. I think my doorbell just went, but that's fine. Now going on the Talon. He is, again, this Talon's very much going to be looking for picks. Picks. He has to. That's his job. Again, I like Talon, but he is obviously very one-dimensional. They're going to go now for a grouping situation. LeBlanc, I think, is not sure what to do. She's half wanting to split, half wanting to group. So she needs to make up her mind what she wants to do. Doublelift right now, he just can't get caught. No stuns can hit him. Again, he has already bought the QSS, so he is relatively safe. And, you know, like I mentioned, if you've got melees, you have to go next to him. And look at the positioning. Doublelift moves right, this guy's moving near him. Right, so engage happening. Of all things, the Talon to go for a one-shot of, he goes for a Blitzcrank, a little bit questionable. Kiana now engaging on a tank, doesn't do enough damage. Malphite now ulting in, kills the Kiana, double kill for Doublelift. That's a tongue twister. Doublelift just maintaining damage, goes hyper-aggressive, triple kill. Going even more aggressive, that's a quad. And now finally on little health, gets the Pentakill. Wow, that was crazy. He nearly died before he got that Penta. I think he got an E off just before he died. So overall, fantastically aggressive play by Doublelift. Really, again, the LeBlanc has not been a thing this game. So that's always nice when you get a free win. But yeah, again, good play. Like we mentioned, the variety of the team comp is they are struggling because they are one-dimensional in theory. They've got the 2 assassins that, you know, if they jump in, then they get CC'd. Then you've got a mage that can get engaged on fairly easily, especially now that she's weak. They don't have anybody just chilling as an AD in the back. Because, again, all you got to build against, really, with this team comp in mind, you don't even need to build AD against this team comp because they're melee assassins. You know, pretty much. Like, Doublelift's going to have a Ninja Tabby, that's just standard. But you don't really need to build AD because what counters these two is grouping. Pretty much. You group, CC them, they're not going to do any damage. So really you just build MR, so then she is basically not doing any damage, he's not, and she's not. So it just, again, makes your comp very one-dimensional. But as for Doublelift on Ezreal, one of my favourite AD carries, yeah, very solid. Mechanically, again, if you gave it out of 10 in terms of 10 is literally perfect, I'd probably give it like a 9.2. It was nearly perfect mechanically. Decision-making wise, again, pretty damn good. He was basically laning 2v1 with that Blitzcrank. He wasn't too useful. Biggest mistake of the game is when he went here randomly. That could be just a lapse of judgment. That could be distracted by his stream if he was streaming at the time. But yeah, no, it was very good to see. Skill shot wise, this is what every Ezreal should aspire to, hitting a lot of skill shots, hitting his ultimates a lot of the time. You'll also notice he a lot of the time maintains his ultimate for the fight he's in. Very rarely he goes for global ultimates. He did maybe 2 or 3, but the vast majority of them is for 2 instances. One instance is you ult and then go for the burst engage when you know if someone's in a bush and you've got vision of them. Or secondly, when you're in a fight with somebody, you ult during the fight when your auto attack downtime is. So in the time that you like auto attack, there's a bit of time you can auto attack again. You can actually ult during that time, and yeah, it's a bit longer than, you know, the gap, but it's more damage than an auto attack would do. So you're maximizing the gap. So overall, really good to see. Very clean play by Doublelift. And yeah, let me know what other pros you guys want to see. Again, not all the pros are here. Again, people are calling people's names. I'm looking daily on the tracking website, and yeah, not everyone's here yet. But the play-in stages worlds have started, which I think last for a few weeks, and then actual worlds will started. So that means all the teams should be arriving in the next week or two. I'm surprised that all of them aren't here already, if I'm honest, to like acclimate to the times and everything. But yeah, that's gonna be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on the video, throw a subscribe, comment down below. Let me know who your favorite pro is. What I'll say is, I'm saying, who should I do? Let me know who your favorite pro is, who is in Worlds. That would help. And then the comments that have the biggest upvotes, that will maybe how we decide of who to do next. Because, yeah, we don't really use like upvotes and stuff in the comment section, do we? Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.